Hello and welcome back to the Lumin Weekly Q&A. I'm Panda. I'm filling in for Lumin this week.
No, he's not. He's not filling in for me. He's just joining me. He's right up here on my head. Look at him. Isn't he handsome? I actually bought this hat for Helen, but I'm just borrowing it again. Okay? I'm kind of attached to it now. I don't know. I just like it. It's one of the few hats on this planet that fits on my head. So I'm going to abuse that. I'm going to use it as much as I possibly can. And I hadn't actually recorded a proper video in front of my PC wearing the hat. I used it once on a Dishonored face cam. If you guys missed it, you can go back. It's labeled nicely, featuring Panda hat. And it's nice. Anyway, okay, so I know this Q&A is a little bit late, but I did say before that if I was going to delay anything, it would probably be the Q&A, because it won't really suffer if I do delay it. Now, with that out of the way, the Q&A is here. I've got a bunch of questions right here on my PC because I'm sitting in front of my PC. Oh, and look. That's Piero's remedy, and that's Sokolov's elixir. I can't talk. Okay, it's late. It's like 8:22 p.m. I must be getting old if I'm calling that late. But they look absolutely beautiful. And I know people are going to ask where I got them from. You can't actually see the detail in the prints and how nice they actually look. How the glossy finish on the glass brings out the color. All that stuff you can't see because of the silly light up here making glare on them. You can actually see the Guild Wars pictures or prints pretty well, but those ones not so much. They look amazing close up. But I actually found those images on the Dishonored wiki in like extremely high resolutions. It must have been a couple of thousand by a couple of thousand. Then I took them into a photo printing place and I had the guy print them as he would a photo, except not too glossy, not as glossy as photos are. And then I took them into a framing place and they set them up. Look at that. They're amazing. They look so nice. And then you can see over there are two little nails in the wall there. I tried to hang something up there. It's actually the Ultima Tapestry of the Ages or something it's called, where it's got like a couple of images from each of the Ultima games in the entire series. And I think I've showed it to you guys before. It's not here right now because I actually dropped it and the glass broke, which sucks. That kind of sucks. But I took it in to get the glass replaced, and that should be up like tomorrow. That. There. And it goes along here. Here. There. That's so bad. It's so difficult looking at yourself. Anyway. Done. I'm done. Right now I'm working on a whole bunch of Guild Wars videos. I've actually got a video coming up for the whole Lost Shores thing. I keep wanting to call it the Lost Coast because of Half-Life and the familiarity there between the names. But I've got a video coming up about that. I don't know if I want to say it's about that. It's pretty depressing, actually. But it's about the whales and stuff on the beach, and you'll see it soon. It's really cool. After that, I've got a Halloween recap video, and that's sort of in the format of the adventure guides, but it's also going to be lots of fun. Okay, it's got a lot of funny parts in it, and it's going to pretty much cover everything that happened during the Halloween event. And I think it's a nice way to just solidify everything that happened and give everyone that missed it a chance to see exactly what they missed out on. Sure, I don't go into too much detail about every single thing, but I do cover it all. Then after that, I've got another armor video coming up, and I've got another Quaggan song, which is going to be so cute. So cute! So, there's a lot of machinima type Guild Wars videos coming out, and they take a lot of time, so I've been working on those a lot, and I want to get them done because I want you guys to see them. And other than that, I'm going to be releasing a channel update video again, where I'm probably going to wear a Panda hat and talk about the Tales of Lumin channel and everything that's going on with it, and my plans for the next couple of weeks and stuff, because I'm getting a lot of questions about things like Assassin's Creed 3, Walking Dead, the game, not the series, and all sorts of other stuff. Assassin's Creed 3 is by far the most asked question. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make you wait. I'm not going to tell you what's happening with Assassin's Creed. No! You don't get to know just yet. I'm so evil. I'll just drink my water smugly and look at you. I don't know how to look smug. That was a failure. Anyway, let's get to the questions. Again, remember, channel update video coming up, so a lot of your questions that you might have will probably be answered in there. Stuff relating to, are you going to be doing this? Are you going to be covering more of that? Is this still coming up? Are you still playing this game? All those questions will be covered in that, and it should be up within the next week or so. Okay, so check back here soon for that. Now, first one is from We Plays and Read. Lumin, are you going to be doing more PlanetSide 2 videos? I've watched them all and have been waiting for more, and it seems to be that you are not. Now, with PlanetSide, I'm in a bit of a situation. I don't want to release too many videos of PlanetSide 2. I know a lot of you guys enjoy them and watch them and stuff, but I can give you a short answer and say yes. I'm actually going to record one either tonight or tomorrow sometime, and the reason for that is because Amerish was added, and I want to play that, see how the new continent looks, see if they added new weapons, see what they did with the whole cert system. Basically what's going to happen is I'm just going to go in, check all the new stuff out. It's going to be 2 to 3 episodes probably. If I had to guess, I'd say 2 to 3, and then I'll just wait again. I know the game is actually launching soon, and I'll probably have a few videos up post-launch, because I feel like it'll be fun to see how the game is at launch and how it's changed, if they manage to get it ready in time. But short answer, yes, there'll still be PlanetSide videos, and they're just not going to be as regular as some of the other stuff. Next, random epic person. What version of Sony Vegas do you use? I think I use 11 Pro C or D, or 11 Pro something. Sony Vegas 11 Pro something. They need to update it soon, because it still doesn't take MP4s. That is probably, right now at least, the most popular format for videos. It can render it into MP4, but 90% of MP4s out there can't actually be put into the program. I don't know. I don't get it. There are ways of converting them and making them work and stuff like that, and some of them do work, but the program is just very finicky. They need to add more support for different things. But right now, 11 Pro something or other. Then, Ofafluniek. That's a difficult nickname to pronounce. Ofafluniek. I think that's it. Hello, Lumin. Have you watched the football game between Poland and RSA? If yes, tell us what you think about our, the Polish, complete domination and every result. I'm not sure. I think the result was 1-0. I don't know if you call that complete domination, but whatever. So, I didn't watch that game. I don't watch soccer very often. I think I've said before that I definitely watch sport when it's something like the World Cup. I'd go out and watch a game or two every now and then, here and there. Okay? But I'd probably end up watching the random teams. Like, I, for some reason, like watching Japan, China, Korea. I don't know, does China even play? Get out of your mouth. China even play? Korea and Japan were two of my favorite teams, just because they have such a different play style. They may not be that good, but they make the game look really fun. You know, watching them is really cool. But that said, I didn't watch Poland versus South Africa, definitely not. And I'm not surprised that they dominated South Africa, because I think I said before that what I've heard was the South African team had a whole bunch of really good players on it, but they didn't work together very well. They didn't play as a team. So their individual talent was really high, but their teamwork was really low. And the reason for that, I would say, is that there are a whole bunch of people in South Africa playing soccer. It's probably, numbers-wise, the most popular sport in the country. By far, the most popular sport in the country. And because of that, there are a whole bunch of people playing in tons of different areas around the country, and then they maybe get picked up by clubs and stuff at a young age, or however that happens. I don't know the process, but they end up coming from lots of different backgrounds and stuff, and then they're all plonked into this one team, but then they all come there thinking that they're going to be the superstar. So they're very prideful, and maybe they practiced a whole lot alone at home or wherever they practiced, and they all probably like that, and then they just don't work well together. I don't know. I don't play soccer. I don't watch soccer very much, but I'm not surprised that South Africa lost. Then the next question is, have you ever been to Poland, and do you know anything about it? Is it known in South Africa, or do you just connect it with GOG or The Witcher or any of the other stuff? And then he says, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I will. Do I know Poland? I don't know much about Poland. The funny thing is, the only things I hear about the Polish people are usually negative things, because I can end up hearing them from people in the UK or from people in Ireland, and they keep talking about, oh, Polish immigrants, this and that. I think it's like complete tollywash. I think it's so silly that they complain about that. Let me tell you exactly why I think it's silly, is because it's the same kind of thing that happened here, where the local people in South Africa keep complaining about people from other countries immigrating or move into the country. And the reason that they complain is because those people that move into the country don't take what they were given for granted, and then they end up working harder in South Africa, even though they're from Zimbabwe, Malawi, whatever other country around South Africa or close by. Then they end up working harder, and they end up keeping the jobs, getting paid more, getting promotions more often because they work much harder, and the South African people are lazy, and then the South African people get all angry about it because they lose their jobs to people that are actually working harder, but they don't see it that way. They see it as aliens invading, taking their work. And I feel as if it might actually be the same kind of thing. I generally think that people like that then who move into a different country, so say for instance the Polish people move into the UK or into Ireland or wherever, then they'd probably end up working much harder than the local people that live there, and then they get resentment. Anyway, I don't know much about Poland or Polish people. I personally, it's a blank slate to me. I love the Witcher games, and I think the guys from GOG are absolutely amazing. They look like great people, but that's about it. I've never been to Poland. I haven't been to a great many countries in my life, but I haven't heard anything bad. Nothing that's actually bad about Poland or the Polish people. So I'm going to assume they're good. And nice people. Decent people. Hard workers that keep getting misjudged because people are jealous of how hard they work. Anyway, moving along. Asurai. Actually, I have a question, Lumin. Once before, a long time ago, you mentioned that you and Helen were working on a book or novel where the world was called Lumin, and your username came from. I was wondering if you were still working on it, and if so, how is it coming along? Are there any plans for a Nero side story? That last part is amazing. I'm going to answer that first. Yes, I want to make... We were actually talking about it today, but it's not the same kind of thing. We were talking about making a blog dedicated to Nero and his photos and stuff. Helen actually suggested calling it something like Where's Nero or Find Nero or something, because we have all these photos of Nero like sticking his head around a corner, and like we just see his one eye or the side of his head or whatever, and then he does these sinister looks sometimes. Sometimes he does a confused look, sometimes a really bored look, sometimes an expectant look, and it's just really funny. Okay, but that said, I would love to have a story or something with Nero in, but the book itself, you're absolutely right, you've got all your facts straight there. I'm not working on it currently, but what I want to do is I want to adapt it, I think that's the right word, to make it fit on YouTube. So if I had to make it an audiobook style thing, then I would. If I had to change the way it's written a little bit to make it more suited to videos, then I'll do that as well. But I feel like it could be something fun and interesting that's not gaming related, but if I had to say the feel of the book and the feel of the world and the feel of everyone in it would be very familiar to anyone that plays computer games. So I want to make it fit on my YouTube channel in some way, but I've just not thought of a way to do it because I'm not much of an artist, and drawing pictures or something like that, like what would you have on the screen? If you do it in audiobook style, what would you have the viewer look at? I know if it's audiobook style, you're not actually looking for viewers, you're looking for listeners, but I'd like to make it work for both, types. Anyway, that's it. Just a simple question. Who is Helen? It's a good question. Maybe simple, but it's really good. This is from Black Mesa Zero. Now, I need a sip of water for this one. I was joking, I don't really. Helen is sitting right over there. Okay. And she's my significant other. She's my partner in crime and life. That's about it. And my girlfriend too. She's that. She's right there. We spend pretty much every single moment of every single day together, and that's it. She plays games with me, we make food together, do everything else together. I can't really say much else about it. Everyone who actually knows who Helen is probably knows her from like the games or the videos she's been in. She used to star in the Minecraft episodes. She plays Guild Wars. She's like my co-guild leader of Luminati. and she's just around. She helps me a lot with things relating to the channel. So she did the background art for the channel. She helps out here and there with comments and replying to people and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it. If you want to know anything specific about Helen, then you can ask. Straight up. She has actually been in videos before as well. There's actually a Helen birthday video, all about her birthday, which was last year, I think. And you can get a good look at her in that. So go have a look. Go, enjoy. Next. This is from Zidana123, and this is more just a clarification from last week. I said last week scarification, but it's actually scarification, and it's the process of creating scars on the body for aesthetic purposes. So I totally misunderstood that. My bad. Then, has your father ever tried to get you to eat tongue products? If so, what tongue products? Also, what do you think of blood sausages, black puddings, haggis, black tofu, and other such blood products and their consumption? Is it something you would ever try someday? Assuming you've not tried them already. Now, I have actually had blood sausage before, but not a lot of it, like a tiny little piece. And I can't say it's like terrible, whatever, but that's not my type of thing. Okay, I don't really like that taste. And that said, I'm not going to say I won't try it. I'm pretty sure I've had like tongue before, some sort of tongue stuff, and that ended up just being like really chewy. Maybe it wasn't prepared properly, I don't know, but my father does try get us to eat the stuff pretty much every time he has it. He doesn't force it upon us, but he always offers it multiple times. And then when he eats it, he always tries to show off how nice it is. Hum, hum, hum. Oh, this is very good. You are missing out, etc., etc. You know, that kind of thing. He does that all the time. And it doesn't really make any of us jealous, but he tries anyway. So there's that. And my screensaver just went on. Let's get on. Silly screensaver. I don't actually have a screensaver, the screen just goes black. But otherwise, I wouldn't say I wouldn't try it. It depends on how it's prepared, how tasty it looks. I feel looks are a big part. If it's like a piece of tongue lying on a plate, the chances are slim that I'd want to eat it. I don't want to have a knife and fork and like stab the tongue with a fork and then cut into it with a knife. I don't want to do that. That's grisly. But if it was prepared into a nice stew or something, perhaps I'd try then. Anyway, okay. Then Zidana also sent me a recipe for jellied ox tongue and asked if we'd maybe see it someday in an episode of MasterChef Lumin. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. I doubt that. That's not the kind of stuff I know a lot about or I'd be able to make nicely. I mean, she sent me a recipe. He or she sent me a recipe now, and I appreciate that, but it doesn't mean I'm going to go out and make it right now. There are a whole bunch of other stuff, a slew of other recipes I'd make before that. So if I had to put that on some sort of list, it would probably be at the bottom of said list. Anyway, Madara Fanboy asked, is there a limit, this is about Guild Wars 2 and Guild Luminati, is there a limit on the amount of time you can be inactive in Guild Luminati before you get kicked? Do you plan on choosing more guild officers? Those are both questions. So the first one, there should be a time on how long you can be inactive, but we can't really check. The sad thing is the guild system is actually pretty terrible. And for some reason, when you open your guild screen, the game lags like crazy. That's a complete side note, but it happens. But that said, I would like there to be an inactivity period. There are obviously exceptions. So if you do like tell us, well, I'm going AFK for a month because I'm going here and here and here, or I've got exams coming up or whatever, then it's fine. Whatever. But if we could, then we'd probably make it either a couple of weeks or a month, and then we'd start kicking people so we could get the wish invite list. What do we call? What is the list called? I don't even know what it's called anymore. I can't even remember. But the list of people that need invitations, so we could get it moving faster. And sadly, you know, we can't really do that. Right now, I think it's at 499 out of 500. And Helen checks pretty much every single day to see if there's a new space, if she can invite someone. And when there are spaces, then they're generally there because we sent an invite out and we're waiting for someone to actually accept it. So, you know, it's a bit difficult. As for choosing more officers, within the next couple of weeks, probably yes. Because some of the officers are slightly less active, and there are multiple reasons for that, but they don't get as much time to play right now, so the chances are we will probably choose more soon. Mainly just to keep an eye on things online, in-game, maybe to have a look at the forums, see what's going on there, just to keep things in order, basically. Or more orderly. That's it. Then, prices. I wrote here in huge caps, prices. So I don't forget. I asked last time, I don't want to say last week, but I asked you guys to tell us what you'd pay for something like a cup of coffee in a coffee shop, and it's pretty much what I expected. So, Jaws of Hannah, or Jaws of Hannah, says here in Norway, coffee actually costs around 30 NOK, or $5. I don't know what NOK stands for. Norwegian something or other. Anyway, or $5. So that's pretty much exactly what I expected. If you convert $5 into rand, then you'd probably get something like 35 to 40 rand, which is about double or close to triple of double or triple what we pay for a cup of coffee here. So that's pretty much exactly what I'd say. But you can't obviously work it out exactly like that, because you have to take the fact that you actually convert in the currency into a different currency into account. And the values of them do differ. But that's already a good enough example. Princess Magic says a medium mocha from Cafe Nero cost me about £3.49. That's crazy. That's actually close to the same as $5. Which is like, oh, there you go. 48 South African rands. Wow. 48 rand, where we pay like 10 to 15 rand for a cup of coffee. Probably closer to 15. And then there you go. A medium mocha from Cafe Nero. Firstly, that's a very nice name for a coffee shop. I like it. I approve. And that's a lot of money. Next question. Kelpie Sean. If you got a tattoo, what would it be? Neuropuppy, perhaps? I don't know. I can't say now if I had to ever get a tattoo what it would be. I can't say that I'd ever get a tattoo, but if I had to get one, then it would have to be something that I'd be okay with having on me for the rest of my life. So I'd probably put a lot of thought into it, and it would have to be something special. Neuropuppy is special, so I'd go with yes. I don't think I'd have like a big Neuropuppy face on my back or something like Steve-O has, except he has his own face on his back, not Neuropuppy's, which is not quite as nice. Neuropuppies would be much better than Steve-O's face. Anyway, I can't really answer that very easily. Lately, TB, this is the next question, same person, Kelpie Sean. Lately, TB has been talking a lot about good and bad LPs, and how most are not so good. What in your opinion, is a good LP or a bad LP? What do you think is good in your LPs? That's a really good question, and a pretty difficult one to answer, actually. So, a good one, I think if you had to take it down to the most like simple answer possible, a good Let's Play is one that people enjoy. Okay, I know a lot of people watch stuff like PewDiePie's or Toby Turner's or whatever. I personally, let me say this right now, much prefer Toby Turner's commentary than PewDiePie's, because PewDiePie, it's difficult. Okay, it's difficult without openly insulting the guy, but his English is absolutely terrible, and he tries to talk, I know, it's difficult. Okay, firstly, I don't like the fact that his English is really, really bad. I'm sure he'd commentate much better in his own language, but then I suppose the majority of his viewers wouldn't be able to understand it. But because his English is so bad, a lot of what he says is nothing. It just doesn't make sense or doesn't mean anything. And that kind of irritates me. And the reason it irritates me is probably because I do commentaries of my own, and I immediately pick up on that, and I realize that a lot of other people probably wouldn't. Now, the fact that he shouts as much as he does in his videos, it kind of annoys me, but that, if you on the flip side look at it, it kind of drowns out the fact that what he says doesn't make sense, because people don't watch it for that. They watch it to watch his face so that they can see the second that he shouts, and then that's the entertainment they're looking for. When he's scared, when he's shrieking like a mad, crazy girl, That's what they want. And now, hey, who am I to argue? That's probably a good Let's Play. In my opinion, it's not something I would watch, but that's what people want to see. So, I said I watch Toby Turner more. I would watch a Toby Turner Happy Wheels any day of the week, just because Toby Turner is as entertaining as he is. He does like skits, basically. He's not... You don't watch Toby Turner because of the game he's playing. You watch it because of the funny voices he makes. The little skits. It's like watching a really short movie. Sometimes. Because that's how entertaining he makes it. Now that's like just one type of commentary. You get people who do commentary where they actually just know a lot about the game they're playing. I don't know if you could do that with something like Happy Wheels, but there are a lot of people out there that know the game they're playing so well that while they're commentating, they'll be telling you what's going on in the game, what they plan on doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing what they're doing, what the story is, what exactly is going to be happening in the future, stuff like that, stuff about the game where it's focused on the game. But then that requires a lot more effort because you got to know what you're doing. You got to know the game really well. I suppose commentating like Toby Turner does take effort as well because that guy must have practiced so much. He is an actor, so he knows what he's doing. Totally different story. But if I had to say in my opinion what makes a good and bad Let's Play, I would just say entertainment value. Entertainment value and enthusiasm, attitude, basically all of that together. The person that you're watching needs to genuinely be interesting. It has to be something different from what other people do. And if I had to tell you, or not different, okay, it's not about different. If you had a choice between 5 people and the one's videos are always better quality, the mic sound quality is much better, what the person talks about is more interesting, their insights are better, maybe they're funnier, all of those things, any of those things, why would you watch the others if this person has all that stuff better? You know, I'm kind of rambling now, but if I had to say what I think is good in my Let's Plays, I don't know, okay? I honestly think one thing that definitely works in my favor is that my English isn't terrible. I wouldn't say that's what's good in my Let's Plays. I would say that I make mine much more personality based, so you aren't actually always just watching it for the game. You're not watching to see the entire game from start to finish. You're watching it because, hey, I'm talking to you guys. You watch it because you're normally involved, because I always read the comment section. I always read all the comments and I try to sort of take as much of it as I can into consideration when I play. I feel that if I do compare my commentaries to other people's, then you could also just take into account the video quality, the fact that I always put effort into making the face cams frame nice, the fact that I always try to get the sound quality right. I've started videos over countless times because I make mistakes in them. I actually spoke about this in great length in the previous Q&A about how meticulous I like to be with stuff like that, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's just because I'm passionate about it and I really enjoy what I'm doing. I love the games that I'm playing and I can't wait to jump back into them. I can't wait to stop playing Dishonored again. I mean, I recorded an episode yesterday, I'm busy uploading it now, and I can't play till it's actually up and I've read the comments on that one, because I want to know what you guys think before I upload the next one, before I record the next one at least. I don't like recording like 10 in a row and then just uploading them straight, because then I never get that interaction. And I suppose if you take all of that and just mix it together, that's why I think my Let's Plays are actually good. I don't know. I'm bad at recording these Q&As in front of my PC because I keep looking there at the camera and then looking down at the words on the screen. You know, I should put the questions on my cell phone again and just have them here so I don't have to look at my screen at all. Just look at the cell phone and the camera, and I'll do that. That's something I'll need to improve for next time. Anyway, Callum Smith, 9898. What under £12 game would you like on your Steam wishlist most? For Christmas, from me. Oh, that's so nice. Anything. Listen, you don't have to ask me. If you want to give me something, you can do it. If you can afford it, if it's not putting you out, if it's not affecting you negatively, then fine. I can actually afford to buy the games that I want to buy right now. I'm in a position to be able to do that. So you could, instead of gifting me a game, gift it to someone you really like. Maybe you've got a girlfriend that likes gaming. Gift her a nice game instead. Yes, that would be really, really thoughtful of you. I think, at least. If I just speak for her for a second here. I don't know, okay? I don't know absolutely anything. I'm always ecstatic to see any sort of gift from anyone, anywhere, be it physical, be it like a Steam game, be it a picture that you send me, anything. I love all of it equally and tremendously much. That doesn't even make sense. Then, last question from random epic person. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a panda bear.
I don't. I want to be doing this as long as I possibly can. If I can't do this for some reason one day, then I'll probably be doing something else where I work with people, something else where I work in the new media world. I don't know what you'd really call it, but something like this. That's it. Okay, it's as if I waited my whole life to discover that I wanted to do this, and I was just preparing for it. Unknowingly, I was preparing to do YouTube videos for my entire life. Everything I've done up until this point has contributed to that fact. So there you go. This is just water in a Coca-Cola glass. As you can see, it's quite nice. But that's it. I've actually answered all the questions now. I don't feel as if I did it as well as I possibly could have. I apologize. I'm like extremely tired here, but that's okay. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below this video. You can send me a mail at talesoflumin@gmail.com, or you can just send them to my YouTube inbox. The comment section is probably the best place because before I record, I always go through all the comments, copy paste them into a notepad or a WordPad or whatever, and then I just use that. Then I either mail that to my phone or whatever. But the comment section, if you put your question there, the chances that it gets missed is like 0 to none. If I missed any of your questions this week, I apologize. I will probably have the next Q&A out pretty soon, reasonably soon. Probably on Sunday, I'd say. This end of this week, Sunday. And I'll try keep them every week, once a week from now on going forward. But if you have any questions about anything, about South Africa, about games, about gaming, about Helen, about panda hats, leave them. About Piero's Remedy and Sokolov's Elixir, you can ask those too. So do it. And that's it. Check back soon for more. Most importantly though, happy leaving those questions. And
Happy panda hat. Yes, happy that.